Awesome.
Hello, welcome to the Wellness Lab podcast, where we are sharing with the audience great ideas, knowledge, and educational components to improve their overall health and wellness. Today we have Sarah Howorth from Priority One, and obviously we'll let you provide us some of the insights of your practice, the services, and as well learn from your story how it all started, what's your background, and it will help everyone learn more from you and how they can improve their wellness. Thanks, Sarah.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
So overall, how did you, how was your personal progression or story and how you got into where you are today? I know you're based in Burlington, but learning more about your services and how it came into place.
Yeah, I have a bit of a non-traditional pathway into wellness and into osteopathy. I went to school, I went to university for kinesiology. I went to the University of Waterloo. I graduated and I was like, what am I going to do? I knew I had to go back to school. I was working as a server and a bartender full time when I graduated school. So I started doing that. I did that for a couple of years. And over that time, I started serving a bunch of police officers. They said, why don't you apply? I'm like, no, no, no. And they're like, you should apply. I'm like, okay, what do I have to lose? So back in 2015, I applied to Peel Police. I got hired in 2016 and I became a police officer. Very short, it was a short amount of time into my career that I was like, this isn't for me. I can't see myself doing this full time. I still always got that itch for wellness when I would be at the hospital or like things like that. Like I still had that passion. So I started to look into things during COVID. I was like, what can I do while I work? And someone said, have you ever heard of osteopathy? And I was like, no. And they're like, well, like you should look into it. So I Googled it and I was like, work while you go to school. And I was like, done. I'm going to go back to school for this. And then I fell in love. I have always gone to physio, massage, chiro, chiropody, whatever it might be, acupuncture. If it's there, I've done it. But I had never heard of osteopathy and I had never gone. And once I started learning about the approach to wellness and the approach to like bettering your body and coming back to a point of health, I was like, I love this. And I think this is like where I was meant to be. Um, Going to school, I met my now business partner and one of my very good friends, Charm. She's a massage therapist. She's been a massage therapist for about 12 years. And she wanted to add to her education and everything like that. And we became very close friends. And we graduated in February of 2024 and I started working from home. And I was building my practice that way. I was getting my feet wet. I was learning. It was great because I had a lot of friends who were in policing and they're all very broken and they were referring like friends and family and everything like that. And I said one day to Charm, I said, I really want to open a clinic, but I want it to be this like a wellness hub of like wellness from the inside out. And she goes, well, I'd like to get out of my basement too. She was treating at home as well. And I said, so you want to do this together? And that is how our story unfolded. We got our now location here at 600 Brant in Burlington last December. So it's been just over a year since we got the space. And come January 2nd, that is going to be our 1 year of operation. So we're very new into the whole like clinic space, but it has grown like crazy in the last year. We went from osteo massage, one of each us. We then gained a wonderful practitioner, Kaylin. She does reflexology, Reiki, Indian head massage with a history in child and youth worker. We have an awesome esthetician, Ala, who does tailored facials, hot stone massage, lymphatic drainage, chemical peels. We've had some people come in and out over the year. But we have Dr. Ryan Milan. He's our naturopath who does live blood analysis. He also does cupping and acupuncture, which also fits into the body treatment stuff. We also have, oh my gosh, we have so many people. It's like sometimes I'm like, okay, wait, who do we have here? So we have Flavia and Shane. They've rounded out our osteo department. So there's 3 of us now. We have a second massage therapist starting in January, Claire. She's coming back after a little bit of a hiatus. We have a red light therapist, Lori. And we have an awesome chiropractor, Dr. Alexis. And what I think is the coolest part about her is so many people are like, oh, chiro, like, oh, I don't like the cracks. She's this awesome, amazing osteo, like I almost like say she's like the osteopathic chiropractor. I don't know if I can like technically say that, but she's new era, where it's more of the whole body. It's not just like, let's do an adjustment and like send you on your way. She does cupping, she does dry needling, she doesn't do dry needling here. She came from the States, but she has like dry needling background. And yeah, it's just this collaborative wellness hub is sort of what I look at it as. And it feels like home. And that's sort of like where we came from. And we're very lucky to be where we are. And if anyone has ever been to 600 Brant in downtown Burlington, it's this old Victorian house, and you walk in and people always ask like, do I keep my shoes on? I'm like, yes, you can keep your shoes on. You don't have to take them off. We do have slippers if you want to, but you don't have to. So yeah, that's our story.
Thanks for sharing, Sarah. So inspiring. And as you said, sometimes like things come across and put you where you are today. And I know I've been following you closely in the last couple months. I know you've grown a lot. So congratulations, kudos to you and your team, and especially to Charm. And I wanted also to let everyone know I've had the chance to see where your practice is, and it's the decoration, the ambience is just amazing. You feel like totally zen and relaxed. So that's so well done. And I know like there's your touch when I go across, and it's like, okay, Charm, and you have done a great job. So that's so
Thank
good.
you.
And I had an approach to osteo when my second child was born. I had no clue about it, and then he was having some tummy issues and whatnot, and I got told like that can help him, and it was really good. So that was the way that I got to learn. As you say, like chiropractors are more like common things, or massage therapy. But yes, honestly, I know there's lots of information on why it works and how the approach comes together. So really interesting. And for anyone that hasn't really tried, I would suggest to explore it and see how it can help you. I love the holistic approach that you offer, so many services that can help. And one of the questions that I have is, for example, if I go and through you, we have an assessment, we have a conversation, and then you might suggest what else can be good for my specific condition or a treatment I would need to. So that's the way you might approach.
Yes, yeah, 100%. So one of the things that maybe people get hung up on or they worry about is when you start to see a practitioner, it's almost like dating. It doesn't always work out. The relationship isn't always a match. But there also can be, other things that in conjunction with your treatments can work really well and can like expedite recovery and keep you in a point of wellness and health. And that's what we love here is we have this full collaborative team. You might come to see me or go see Charm or go see Dr. Alexis or whomever it might be. But while we're talking, you might be expressing how you've gone through a big shift in your life, and you're feeling a sense of something missing. And that's when I can start talking about energy work. So the Reiki and the reflexology that we offer, lymphatic drainage, that's something huge that like mostly women I see. I haven't seen any men yet. But if you have, fluid buildup in your face or like in your stomach, you feel bloated, those kind of things, that helps with treatment as well. I've had it where someone will be on one side of the hallway, seeing Dr. Ryan for cupping, and then they traipse across the hallway, and then they come see me for an osteo treatment, because those things work so hand in hand. He like loosens up the fascia and the tissue and things like that, and then it makes it easier for me to do what I do. And it's something that like we're able to do, and we're able to share the, not the wealth, but share the health and get someone to their best self the fastest. And it doesn't matter who it is that does that. Like if I send someone to Dr. Alexis and they like her better, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna like keep up my treatments, I might just come see you like every 6 to 8 weeks. I'm like, awesome, that's fantastic. So we have a really good team that way, and we like to collaborate, and we'll talk about what we've done with the permission of the patient, of course. But we talk about, what did we do here, and what should you do in this treatment, and vice versa. So you're getting that instead of the, broken telephone of, okay, I go see a massage therapist here, they said this, or I go see a naturopath here and they said this. And you're getting that broken telephone of one person telling the other person remembering it, maybe correctly, maybe not correctly, but it's coming right from the horse's mouth, and there's no like miscommunication in collaborative treatment. So yeah, that's how we work here.
That's great. And thanks for elaborating and providing clarity. It's great understanding how your approach is, and then having these integrated practitioners also supports the patient's recovery, treatment, and whatnot. And the other thing that will be interesting to learn would be, what do you find, maybe you can go either way, like what, for example, for an osteo like yourself, what is the most common condition or thing someone comes to you to see you and to get help or support? And the other one, maybe some that you found, as myself, like I had no clue it might help you with digestive issues, like that's super common. Like which one might be a way to just let the audience know, like if you're suffering from maybe these specific conditions or pain or illness, it's great to come do something around it.
Yeah. So because osteo, we've said, osteo is becoming more mainstream, but it's still not as mainstream as like physio, chiro, massage. I used to go see a physio when I was in grade 8, and this was like back when physios, people would be like, oh, what do? You go and they just like make you work out for an hour. I'm like, no, they're actually helping me. So you were fighting to like show that there is legitimate things that are done, and that's sort of where osteo is. Like people either love it or don't know about it. And a lot of the time people walk through your door because they've exhausted all other options. They are in chronic pain. They've been dealing with an issue for weeks, months, years even. And with the approach that like an osteo takes, we're not looking to chase the pain. Yes, the pain might be in the low back, but is it actually coming from there, or is it coming from your hips, or is it coming from the way that you walk? Do you have an inversion that's then changing the knee carrying angle and the hip carrying angle, and then that's causing compensation in the low back? And it's this whole, you're looking at the body as a whole, and you gently put it back to where it's supposed to be. It's not, you're not getting those like crazy adjustments. You're working through it slowly. So a lot of chronic conditions I see walk through the door, sciatic, oh, I threw my back out, my shoulder, a lot of nerve stuff, like with people have like tingling in their fingers or they have a sore neck or whatever it might be. I've had it all. I would say mostly low back, mid back, shoulder, neck. Those the big ones that people always come for. But yeah, there are so many different things that we can do osteopathically and within our scope of practice that people don't necessarily always think of. Vertigo. Vertigo is a big one that I have treated with cranial osteopathy. So cranial osteopathy works with the cranial bones and their motility. It's not like you're going to see your cranial bones like shifting like dramatically, but they all have a movement. And your cerebrospinal fluid goes from here all the way back, and then it goes down into your sacrum and then comes back up. So you can have issues in your sacrum that actually present in your head as headaches, or you can have issues here that are presenting in your sacrum because of those connections. Vertigo, inner ear, you have your temporal bone, it makes up part of the vestibular system. So you can treat something that there are like, specific physios, like vestibular physios, and they're fantastic and they do a lot of great work. But then sometimes you have a little bit of that remnants of the vertigo and the dizziness and the cranial osteopathy. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like anything is happening. But then you get up and you're like, whoa, that's crazy. Sinus pressure, allergies. Like you're not treating the allergy, you're treating the symptoms. You're opening up the sinuses, you're working with things like that. And then there's visceral osteopathy, which is the organs. So you can help aid digestive issues. We never say that we can, we can't cure anything. We might be magic, but we're not quite that magic. But, you forget that the organs have attachments to the skeletal system, right? They don't just sit there and float. They have connections to the skeletal system. They have attachments to one another. They have fascia, which is like just like almost like a sausage coating that goes around everything. And if you have, let's say your pelvis is tilted and rotated, you have your intestines sitting in there. So all of this on this side is all going to be compressed. So how is it going to properly digest? So not only can we do the structural aspect, but then we can also work with the sphincters within the digestive system to help get them operating properly, because sometimes they stop working efficiently. And we use visceral osteopathy to treat those things. So I think that's a really cool part of osteopathy that you don't think about as an adult. A lot of kids, a lot of babies go in for osteo. That seems to be like pretty popular now. Like it's tongue tie and digestive issues and all of that, because we're so focused on like baby care, because babies are the best and everyone wants to work with babies. But it's so traumatic, not just for the mom, but for the baby when you're like during childbirth, whether it's natural or by C-section, however it is, it's traumatic either way, beautiful, but traumatic. So, this baby's just been all gunked up in your belly for 9 months, and then you bring it out into the world and you're like, okay, let's get you, straight. And they're like, no, I don't want to. I want to be curled up like a little bean. So I think those are some of the things that we don't realize that like osteopathy can work with as an adult. So yeah.
Totally. Thank you. Thanks, Sarah. And then you do offer it for babies?
I personally don't treat many
Got it.
babies. I treat my like my friends' kids. But we do have osteos and massage therapists that work with little ones. And I am working on a new program in the new year in January where I will end up working with little babies because
Oh,
I like
great.
working with them. It's just they're a very important part or very important to people, and you want to be the most confident practitioner that you can be when you're dealing with the most like vulnerable population outside of like elderly. So
Yeah.
but I do treat like children, which is fun. Really cool when they've learned to walk a funny way, and
Mhm.
they have pigeon toe or whatever it might be. And so I do really like working with kids, preteens, teens, adults. I work with seniors as old as in their 90s. So, and osteo is really cool for that because it is so gentle. Um, it works well with like senior populations.
Amazing. Thank you, Sarah. And then we're almost coming to an end, but talking about January, I know you have a Reiki event early January, so please let us know any details. We'll be sharing also information down below
Yeah.
with your social handles and whatnot, but feel free to give us any details that you want to highlight.
Yeah, our amazing practitioner Kaylin has offered. She's done a couple of these. We did a fall solstice event. We did a winter calm, and we're doing a calm. It's called Calm Beginning, and it's on January 4th, Sunday, January 4th, from 1 to 3 p.m. here at 600 Brant Street, and it's an afternoon just welcoming in the new year. There will be Reiki, reflexology, intention setting, meditation, and she does um, other like stretches, chakra stretching, stretches for your chakras. And then Charm and I are there to assist, and we help with neck, shoulder, and head massage as well. So it is a very relaxing, very wonderful way to welcome in the new year, to take a little bit of time for yourself after the busyness of the holidays. And I can tell you I'm jealous of everyone that's lying in that room when I've been there for the last few, because they leave tranquil. So yeah, we have information up on our socials about that. If you're interested about signing up, you can head to our booking website, which is through our website as well. Yeah, Kaylin will be very excited to see anyone.
Perfect. Thank you, Sarah. Exciting. And obviously, I invite anyone listening, interested, following you through social media, your website. You have events happening. I see you had holiday packages. So I know you have
Yeah.
certain things that are moving all the time, and it will be great for anyone listening and to just follow you and look into your website. Lots of blogs as well. So educational content that
Mm-hmm.
will help them and guide
Tons.
them.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, Sarah, thank you for the conversation. It's a pleasure talking to you. And
Anyways.
once again, we'll be in touch and all the best.
Yes, you too.
Thank you.